Morris Glimsher of Manitoba Sports, he called me and let me know that I would be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And it was funny because he asked if I would be free on April 21st to come to the Hall of Fame induction dinner. And I thought maybe to MC or to, you know. And he said, no, we're putting you in. We're putting you in. It's about time. We got to get you in there. So I think the greatest honor of being inducted is to see who else is on the list and to sort of go, whoa, like what am I doing in the company of those people? Oh, you know, they think it's pretty cool. They've been to some of these events with me. Of course, I've never been the one inducted, you know. I think they think it's neat. They're sort of like, for them, though, it's like, well, how good were you? You know, and I'm like, well, I know how hard I worked. I don't know really how good I was. I mean, you know, you can count your provincial titles and your individual awards and that kind of thing. But I try to instill in them, like, the memories that I made. Like being on the buses and in the vans and on the road trips and just, you know what, eating snacks between games and you're all sitting around on this hard floor and, you know, you got to get up for another match. And at least that's how volleyball worked back in high school. And, you know, they think it's pretty cool. The greatest thing about my high school sports experience is my coach, Shannon. Shannon Ormiston was her name then. It's Shannon Kaler now. And I'll get emotional talking about her because really she came out of the Winnipeg system. And before I made my journeys into Winnipeg to try and break into the whole provincial system, it's tough for a rural kid. Back in '87, when I was playing in high school, to make a provincial team was impossible. Well, it was proven. I got cut from 3 of them. But Shannon was the one who said, you know what, you should go and try out. And I said, you're nuts. How could I compete with those Winnipeg girls, you know? And she said, because it doesn't matter where you're from. I think you can do this, and you have the attitude and the heart and the will to be something in this sport. Shannon and I and a bunch of my grade 12 girlfriends won the provincial title together, the AA provincial title when I was in grade 11. That's a memory forever. And some people say, you know, well, you've been to the Olympics. Like, that must dull in comparison, you know, a provincial championship. But that was the highest level of sport I had ever tasted at that point in my life. And I remember it being as good as any Olympic win or any Olympic moment. At that point in my life, that was the best it ever got. A big part of my high school career actually was I played club volleyball, and the first chance I got to play club volleyball was the one coach in Manitoba that actually wanted me on his club team when I was in grade 11 was Steve Densmore out in Virden. Virden, for those who don't know, is 4 hours away from Steinbach. And my parents drove me to Virden twice a week from December till May.
Wow.
I don't know a lot of parents that would do that. I'm not sure I would even do that for my own kids. I guess I will, because I need to now if they ever ask. But my dad, I remember my dad not hesitating for more than a second. And he said, if this is your dream, I'll drive you there. Incredible. It's hard, I think, in a team sport to pick someone to put in a Hall of Fame. And maybe that's, you know, some people might think, well, that's just the right thing to say. But, you know, I was a small kid who made it in a big person's world, but I still needed those big people around me to be successful. And I would just, if I can get through it, thank every tall girl I played with, even though they beat me out of some positions sometimes, you know, because you can't play volleyball alone. And I never did. And so I will accept this award alone, but I will not ever think of it as an alone award. So I'm so grateful, and I'm proud, very proud to be from Steinbach, because we're a city now, but we're still small. And a lot of people look at us and they think we're small. We're no different. We're no different, and things can be accomplished by people from here, just like anywhere else. So if I can be at least one person to prove that, then I hold that really close to my heart.